Everyone wants happiness. People search for it in money, relationships, success, and comfort. Yet many still feel empty, anxious, or restless. Buddhism offers a different understanding of happiness. It does not promise constant pleasure. It teaches lasting peace, even when life feels uncertain. The Buddha did not teach happiness as something to chase. He taught happiness as something to cultivate from within. In this teaching, you will discover 9 powerful Buddhist principles that help you live with more joy, clarity, and balance. These teachings are simple, practical, and meant for everyday life. Stay with me until the end, because the final teaching ties all the others together and shows how true happiness quietly grows. 1. Happiness begins with understanding the mind. Buddhism teaches that happiness does not depend on circumstances. It depends on how the mind responds to circumstances. 2 people can face the same situation. One suffers deeply. The other stays calm. The difference is not luck. The difference is mental training. The Buddha taught that the untrained mind creates suffering. The trained mind creates peace. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha said, "We are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world." This ancient wisdom reveals a profound truth. Your inner world shapes your outer experience. Most unhappiness comes from overthinking, constant comparison, uncontrolled desires, fear of loss, resistance to reality. The mind left untrained jumps from worry to worry, creating storms where there is only breeze. When you learn to observe the mind instead of obeying it, happiness increases naturally. Start by noticing your thoughts without judgment. Watch them arise like clouds in the sky. Watch them pass. This simple awareness weakens their power. You begin to see that thoughts are events in the mind, not absolute truths. The space between stimulus and response grows wider. In that space lives freedom. In that freedom lives happiness. A calm mind is the foundation of a happy life. Without mental clarity, external success feels hollow. With mental clarity, even simplicity feels rich. 2. Letting go of attachment creates freedom. Attachment is a major cause of unhappiness. People attach to outcomes, opinions, relationships, possessions, identity, status, youth, health. The Buddha taught that attachment creates fear. Fear of loss, fear of change, fear of disappointment. The tighter you grip, the more you suffer when things slip away. And everything eventually does. Attachment is different from love. Love allows freedom. Attachment demands permanence. Love says, "I appreciate this." Attachment says, "I cannot be happy without this." Happiness grows when you enjoy things without clinging. You can deeply appreciate a sunset without demanding it never end. You can love someone without needing to control them. You can work toward goals without letting failure destroy you. Letting go does not mean rejecting life. It means releasing the belief that happiness depends on anything staying the same. The Buddha taught, "You only lose what you cling to." When you stop clinging, the heart becomes lighter. You enjoy life as it is, not as you demand it to be. This creates genuine freedom, not the freedom to have everything, but the freedom to be at peace with anything. Freedom from attachment leads to inner peace. And inner peace is the soil where true happiness grows. 3. Accepting impermanence reduces suffering. Buddhism teaches that everything changes. Nothing stays fixed. This is called anicca, or impermanence. Joy changes. Pain changes. People change. Situations change. Your body changes. Your thoughts change. Even the mountains eventually crumble to dust. Unhappiness grows when the mind resists this truth. People say, "I want this to last forever. I don't want this to end. This should not change." But the universe does not follow preferences. It follows natural law. The Buddha taught that all conditioned things are impermanent. Fighting this reality is like fighting the ocean with your fists. You will only exhaust yourself. Acceptance of impermanence brings relief. When you understand that change is natural, you stop fighting reality. You learn to appreciate moments instead of fearing their end. You hold experiences lightly, knowing their preciousness lies partly in their brevity. The flower is beautiful because it blooms for a season, not forever. The conversation is meaningful because this exact moment will never return. Life becomes richer when you stop demanding permanence. Each goodbye becomes less bitter when you accept that all things meet and part. Each hello becomes sweeter when you know nothing lasts. Happiness deepens when you accept life's flow. You stop building walls against the river. You learn to swim. 4. Practicing gratitude brings contentment. The Buddha taught contentment as a form of wealth. In the Dhammapada, he said, "Health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, faithfulness the best relationship." Many people focus on what they lack. This creates dissatisfaction, even in comfort. A person with a full table complains about the missing dessert. A person with a home complains about its size. A person with health complains about minor aches. The mind trained in lack will find lack everywhere. Gratitude shifts attention from absence to presence. It retrains the mind to notice what is here, not only what is missing. When you feel grateful, the mind relaxes. Envy fades. Joy increases. Generosity flows naturally. Relationships deepen. You do not need perfect conditions to practice gratitude. You only need awareness. Each day, notice your breath moving in and out, a kind word someone offered, a simple meal nourishing your body, a moment of rest, the morning light, clean water, a roof overhead, the ability to read these words. Scientific research supports what Buddhism has taught for centuries. Gratitude changes the brain, strengthening neural pathways associated with happiness and reducing those linked to anxiety. Gratitude turns ordinary moments into sources of happiness. A cup of tea becomes a meditation. A walk becomes a celebration. A conversation becomes a gift. When you appreciate what you have, you realize you already have enough. And enough is the doorway to contentment. 5. Right action builds inner confidence. Buddhism teaches that happiness grows from ethical living. This is part of the Noble Eightfold Path, specifically sila, or ethical conduct. When actions align with values, the mind rests peacefully. When actions cause harm, the mind carries guilt and fear. You cannot build happiness on a foundation of harm. Right action includes speaking truthfully, acting kindly, avoiding harm to yourself and others, not stealing, not misusing sexuality, abstaining from intoxicants that cloud judgment. These are not commandments from above. They are guidelines for peace. The Buddha taught that unethical action creates inner turmoil. Lies require more lies. Cruelty creates fear of retaliation. Dishonesty destroys self-trust. You do not need perfection. You need intention. Each time you choose kindness over cruelty, happiness strengthens. Each time you act honestly, self-respect grows. Each time you avoid harm, the conscience clears. Right action creates what the Buddha called kusala, wholesome states of mind. These states naturally support happiness. A clear conscience supports deep and lasting happiness. You sleep better. You walk lighter. You meet your own eyes in the mirror without shame. This inner confidence is worth more than any external achievement built on compromised values. 6. Living in the present moment ends anxiety. Anxiety lives in the future. Regret lives in the past. Happiness lives in the present moment. The Buddha taught mindfulness, sati, to bring attention back to now. Most suffering exists in time. What if this happens? Why did I do that? What will they think? How will I manage? These thoughts pull you out of the only moment you can actually live, this one. When you focus on breathing, walking, eating, listening, feeling your feet on the ground, noticing sensations in your body, the mind stops wandering. Presence calms the nervous system. The body receives the message, you are safe right now. Not tomorrow, not yesterday, right now. And right now is almost always manageable. Calm allows happiness to appear. Happiness was always there, hidden beneath layers of mental time travel. You do not need to escape life to be mindful. You only need to be fully here. The present moment always offers peace when you notice it. The Vietnamese Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh taught, the present moment is the only moment available to us, and it is the door to all moments. Even washing dishes can become meditation. Even breathing can become joy. The miracle is not walking on water. The miracle is walking on earth, fully present, fully alive. 7. Compassion strengthens happiness. Buddhism teaches compassion, karuna, as a source of joy. This might seem counterintuitive. How can feeling others' suffering create happiness? But compassion is not pity. Compassion is the warm wish for all beings to be free from suffering. It connects you to life itself. When you act with compassion, anger decreases, loneliness fades, connection grows, meaning deepens, the heart expands. Scientific studies show that compassionate action activates the same brain regions associated with reward and pleasure. Helping others literally makes you happier. The Buddha taught metta, or loving kindness meditation, to cultivate compassion systematically. You start by wishing yourself well, then extend that wish to loved ones, then to neutral people, then to difficult people, finally to all beings everywhere. Compassion includes yourself. This is crucial. Many people speak harshly to themselves. They would never speak to a friend the way they speak to themselves internally. This inner cruelty blocks happiness. Treat yourself with the same kindness you offer others. When you fail, respond with understanding, not punishment. When you struggle, offer yourself encouragement, not contempt. Self-compassion is not self-indulgence. It is recognizing your shared humanity. You are imperfect, like all beings. You deserve kindness, like all beings. Compassion softens the heart. A soft heart experiences deeper happiness. A hard heart may achieve much, but feels little joy. The Dalai Lama often says, "If you want others to be happy, practice compassion. If you want to be happy, practice compassion." 8. Reducing desire simplifies life. The Buddha taught that endless desire leads to dissatisfaction. This is tanha, craving or thirst. It is the second noble truth. Craving is the root of suffering. Desire itself is not the problem. Uncontrolled desire is. Natural desires for food, shelter, connection, and safety are healthy. But desire becomes suffering when it grows endless. When desire controls the mind, nothing feels enough. Comparison grows. Peace disappears. Joy becomes conditional. You live always in lack, never in abundance. Modern consumer culture feeds this endlessly. Buy this, you will be happy. Achieve that, you will be fulfilled. Look like this, you will be loved. But the goalpost always moves. The Buddha observed this 2,500 years ago, and it remains true today. Reducing desire does not remove joy. It removes pressure. When you want less, you appreciate more. You enjoy the meal without needing it to be gourmet. You enjoy the walk without needing it to be Instagram worthy. You enjoy relationships without needing them to complete you. Simple living supports a peaceful mind. A peaceful mind supports happiness. The practice is not to eliminate all desire, but to examine desires carefully. Ask yourself, is this desire arising from genuine need or external pressure? Will satisfying this desire bring lasting happiness or temporary pleasure? Am I seeking something external to fill an internal void? True contentment comes not from having everything you want, but from wanting what you have. This is the difference between poverty and simplicity. Poverty is lacking what you need. Simplicity is not needing what you lack. 9. Trusting the path creates inner stability. Life does not follow plans perfectly. Unexpected events happen. Illness arrives. Relationships end. Jobs disappear. Plans crumble. The Buddha taught trust in the path, not blind faith, but steady acceptance. This is different from passive resignation. Trust means understanding that you cannot control outcomes, but you can control your response. Trust grows when you focus on effort, not results. Learn from difficulties. Stay patient with the process. Accept that growth is not linear. Understand that obstacles teach. The Buddha's own path to enlightenment was not straight. He tried extreme asceticism and nearly died. He faced doubt, fear, and temptation. But he continued with steady effort. You cannot control everything. You can control how you respond. This shift from outcome focus to process focus creates stability. When your happiness depends on specific outcomes, you live in constant anxiety. When your peace depends on your effort and attitude, you carry stability within you. Trusting the path reduces fear. Fear of failure diminishes when you see failure as information, not identity. Fear of the future diminishes when you focus on today's steps. Fear of loss diminishes when you accept impermanence. Fearless living supports happiness. Not the fearlessness of never being afraid, but the fearlessness of continuing despite fear. The path itself becomes the destination. Each step taken with awareness is already success. How these 9 teachings work together. These teachings do not stand alone. They support each other like threads in a tapestry. Mindfulness strengthens gratitude. You notice more to appreciate. Letting go supports acceptance. You stop demanding permanence. Compassion softens desire. You need less when connection runs deep. Understanding the mind supports right action. You see clearly and choose wisely. Living in the present supports trust. You stop fearing imagined futures. Each teaching reinforces the others. Together, they create balance. Not the precarious balance of perfection, but the dynamic balance of ongoing practice. Buddhism does not promise instant happiness. It promises sustainable happiness, the kind that weathers storms, the kind that deepens with age, the kind that comes from within, not from circumstances. Small daily practice leads to deep transformation. You do not need to retreat to a monastery. You do not need to abandon your life. You only need to bring these principles into ordinary moments. The transformation is quiet. One day you notice. The same situations that once disturbed you now barely register. The same mind that once raced now rests more easily. The same heart that once closed now opens more naturally. This is the fruit of practice. A simple daily practice for happiness. You can apply these teachings daily with this simple routine. Morning. Take 3 deep, conscious breaths. Set an intention for kindness toward yourself and others. Notice one thing you appreciate before reaching for your phone. Daytime. Practice awareness during routine tasks. Feel the water while washing hands. Taste the food while eating. Notice thoughts without reacting. Observe them like weather passing through. Choose one small act of compassion. When stress arises, return a breath. Evening. Reflect on one thing you appreciated today. Acknowledge one thing you did well, however small. Release what did not go well. Practice letting go. Set down worries about tomorrow. They will be there if you need them. This simple routine strengthens happiness naturally. It takes perhaps 10 minutes total, scattered through your day. Yet those 10 minutes plant seeds. Over weeks and months, those seeds grow. Slowly, imperceptibly, your baseline shifts. What once required effort becomes natural. What once seemed impossible becomes ordinary. This is the power of consistent practice. Common mistakes about happiness. Many people believe happiness means constant pleasure, no problems, perfect circumstances, never feeling sad or angry, always being positive, having everything figured out. Buddhism teaches otherwise. Happiness means inner peace during change, calm during difficulty, contentment with enough, capacity to feel all emotions without being overwhelmed, finding meaning in challenges, returning to balance after disruption. This form of happiness lasts. It does not depend on life going your way. It depends on you meeting life skillfully. The Buddha never promised you would never experience pain. He promised you could be free from unnecessary suffering. Pain is inevitable. Illness, aging, loss, change. Suffering is optional. The mental resistance, the stories, the demands that reality be different. Happiness is not the absence of difficulty. Happiness is presence of peace amid difficulty. The Buddha's quiet promise. The Buddha did not promise wealth or comfort. He did not promise fame or power. He promised freedom from unnecessary suffering. He promised that the mind could be trained. He promised that peace was possible. When a mind becomes clear, happiness appears quietly. Not with fanfare, not with drama, just a gentle, steady presence. Like the sun that was always there, once the clouds part. You do not need to chase it. You need to stop blocking it. Stop blocking it with endless craving. Stop blocking it with rigid attachments. Stop blocking it with resistance to change. Stop blocking it with harsh self-judgment. Stop blocking it with constant distraction. The happiness you seek is already present. It waits patiently beneath the noise. Final reflection. Happiness is a practice. Happiness is not a reward. It is not something you earn after achieving enough. It is a way of living. Each thought, action, and response shapes your experience. You are always practicing something. The question is, what are you practicing? Worry or presence? Judgment or compassion? Resistance or acceptance? Craving or contentment? When you practice these 9 teachings, life feels lighter. The mind feels calmer. Joy feels natural. Relationships deepen. Challenges become manageable. Meaning emerges from ordinary moments. True happiness does not shout. It rests gently inside awareness. It whispers in moments of presence. It appears in acts of kindness. It grows in the space between thoughts. The Buddha's final words were, "Work out your own liberation with diligence." No one can give you happiness. No one can practice for you. But everyone can practice. Everyone can begin. Everyone can take one conscious breath. That breath is the beginning. That breath is the path. That breath is already happiness when you notice it fully. Thank you for spending this time with BodhiRipple. If these Buddhist teachings helped you understand happiness in a new way, please like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to BodhiRipple for more wisdom you can apply every day. Watch our other videos to learn how mindfulness, compassion, and balance can transform your life, one peaceful moment at a time. Until next time, remember, happiness is not something you find. It is something you practice.